Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Watch This Before Driving in Germany, 5 Tips for American Driving in Germany, How to Drive in Germany. So I don't really know what to expect about this. I think it's making me a little bit scared because I think probably things are going to be very different. I don't know, but let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm Anna, and today we're going to talk about 5 things that Americans need to know before getting behind the wheel in Germany. Let's go. Number 1, you can't even get into your car unless you have a safety vest, a warning triangle, and a first aid kit in your car.
Not on you,
in case you break down, you gotta first turn on your hazard lights, don your vest, and place your warning triangle a safe distance away from the back of your car to warn other drivers that you're stopped.
That's how it should be.
If you're on a high-speed roadway, it must be about 100 meters away.
Yeah, I think that's the general
rule. Number 2, there's no such thing as right on red. The only exceptions are if you see a yield sign or a green arrow, but if you don't see either one of those, make sure you sit tight.
Yeah, a good sound advice.
Number 3, leave your big cars in America. Roadways and parking spaces are smaller, parallel parking is way more prevalent, and gas is pretty expensive here. So maybe just opt for a smart car or an electric car.
It's true because bigger cars consume more gas.
Number 4, passing on a high-speed roadway. It's as simple as do not pass on the right. Yes, this is also a rule in the US, but it's not strictly followed like it is here. It's adherence to rules like this that allow things like the Autobahn to run smoothly. I want to be clear, you can't just not pass on the right. You can't even go faster than the car to your left. There are exceptions to this, like if there's a blockage in the left lane or if you're in an exit lane, but for the most part, only use the left lane to pass and move over to the middle or right lane when it's safe.
Again, that's a rule, I think, but yeah. Number technically.
Let's set something straight about the Autobahn.
I'd be so scared of getting into it.
One of the biggest misconceptions about driving in Germany is actually about the Autobahn. Everyone thinks, oh, like I can go as fast as I want, there's no speed limits, but that's actually not true. There are many stretches of the Autobahn that have a posted speed limit. These signs are white circular signs with a red outline. Sometimes they are even digital signs on the side or above the road. When the speeds are posted, make sure you follow them to the exact speed label. There is no +5 to 10 that people often get in the US. These speeds can even be enforced by a hidden camera along the road. When there is no speed limit, you'll see a circular sign with 2 gray slashes indicating that the regulated speed zone has ended. Yes, technically you can go as fast as you want, but a maximum of 130 kilometers per hour is recommended. Just make sure that you're being safe and respectful of others on the road. Learning foreign road rules can be pretty intimidating at first, but as long as you respect other drivers and the rules and learn your road signs, you're going to be fine. If you like this video, check out some of our other content on navigating the German farmers market and grocery shopping in Germany. Hey everybody, welcome back to our channel.
Yep.
Really intimidating, but as long as I've already forgotten what we were going to say. Driving in Germany as an American can be pretty intimidating.
I love the cars turned to parallel park there.
They're doing that on purpose. Rule number 2, no right on...
Like, I have to move. Okay, yeah, this was less scary than I thought. I thought it was going to be like so many different things that I was going to be like, I have no idea. But no, I think it's good sound advice. I think I can probably like summarize it as it's a technical like rules of the road that you sort of like learn because they're just like automatic and I think are probably the norm in most places. But they don't really tend to like people are a little bit more, I don't know, like they make for some exceptions, especially in the US. I think it's probably because you think you're not gonna get caught, basically. So I think people are not usually, and I think bad drivers in general, I think bad drivers tend to be like, you know, it's not just in the US, like bad drivers are all over the world, but I think in Germany, probably because the rules are like very strict, like if you're a bad driver, you're gonna get caught. So you either try to like follow the norms or you have to like learn the hard way, which is like, I don't know how many, like maybe they'll find you, they take away your license, I don't know what like punishment situation is, but you have to like follow the norms. And I think in the US, because again, you're maybe like, well, maybe I can get away with it. So you're not really like, you're not that strict about those things. And I think it's more about like being those rules that they have in place, like they're being enforced. And in the US, I think it's a little bit more like, well, I think it depends. Because for instance, it's so funny because when I saw her like, you know, on the vest, and she was like, oh, you can't really get in your car before you have like the vest. I was thinking, wait, what? Like you have to drive with your vest on? No, it's like, no, you have to obviously have it in your safety kit, like in the trunk of your car. You have to have like the triangle, and you have to have obviously, you know, the safety vest. I think in the US, like the safety vest, I don't think it's usually, yes, you have the safety kit, but I think usually when you are, you know, when someone happens to your car and you have to like stop, you usually just put like your lights and then the safety triangle. I don't think I've ever seen people like use the actual vest, I have to say, but they should. Like again, it's the norm. I think I think all safety kits like do have it. Oh yeah, people do not use it, but it is, I know that it's the norm. So I like that in Germany, apparently, like, no, it is enforced, like, you do have to use it. I like it because obviously it's there for a reason, like, people are gonna be, you know, they're gonna look at you, it's a safety vest for a reason. But I think most people would just think, the lights and the triangle, I'm not thinking, oh, like, oh, I have to put on this vest. It's like, no, you should, and apparently in Germany they do it, which, great for them, love it. I love the whole situation about the Autobahn, because it's like, okay, I'm thinking I'd be so scared. I've never driven in the Autobahn, but from what I've seen, it's a bit of a scary place. I think I would think it's quite a scary situation, just because I would be thinking, okay, so there's no speed limit, like people are gonna be driving in like insane speeds. And again, I know that's definitely fun. I would love to do that. But at the same time, I'd be so scared of people just, you know, like, I don't know, like, do you know, I'm like, oh my God, everyone's passing me. Am I going too slow? How fast am I going to have to be for people to not hate me? Like, I'd be so scared about the Autobahn situation that I would probably, maybe I think once you've gotten the hang of it and maybe you're used to driving in Germany, maybe I would do it, because I would think it's something that looks very fun. But again, I know that I'm being very like touristy about this. I know that it's not a toy, and I know that probably people in Germany are like, "Wow, this is very stupid. Like, how come?" Like, I know tourists are like very, oh, you know, I have to like drive in the Autobahn. There's no speed limit, and people that have to use it for actual like going places in their daily lives are like, "This is very stupid. Like, it's normal for us." But I think the whole, like, oh, you know, there's like no speed limit. Like, it looks very exciting. Can I just like feel like an F1 driver? Like, probably not. Like she mentioned, it's not as in there's a speed limit, like it's not enforced, but it is recommended that you don't like go over 130 kilometers per hour. I like that. It's like, okay, so at least there's like a cap on it. I don't know how many, like if people actually do sort of like tend to be, okay, so I'm not gonna go over 130, or I'm gonna maybe like stick around, maybe I can go a little bit over like 140, maybe 150, but usually people are gonna be a little bit more cautious about it. Like, it's not people going, oh, I'm doing like 180. It's like, which I think maybe if you're, I don't know, like maybe in some stretches, and maybe some people don't care, and they're like, no, I'm doing 180, or maybe 200, which I think it's a little crazy to me. Like, I don't think you should go like that fast, you know, in a regular road. But I don't know, again, I'm that's the when I'm thinking about the Autobahn, that's where my mind goes. I'm thinking people they're doing 200, but it's like, apparently it isn't exactly like that. I'm wondering how many people actually do follow that sort of like norm, because it's not a norm, it's sort of like a suggestion. So again, do people actually do follow that suggestion, or is it like, no, you are gonna encounter people that don't really care, and they're just going 200. They don't really, they're like, no, we can do it. So how, you know, why shouldn't we? Which again, I get it. It's like, well, it's, if the opportunity arises and your car can handle it, then why wouldn't I? But again, I think I'd be a little bit scared of driving there. Maybe I would try to like drive in during hours that are not, that it's a little bit less, I don't know, less people there, because I would love to test the theory of like, can I go to 200? I don't know. But again, it's a mix of like, I don't know, I'm a little scared about the situation. But I do, again, it's the whole like the left, like you shouldn't pass. It's like, yes, of course you shouldn't. Again, that's a rule, I think, in the US and in Germany and in Europe and probably most, you know, all over the world. That's just like a driving rule, as in like red means stop, green means like go. So it's like, yeah, you definitely shouldn't. But again, I think because there's like bad drivers in the US and in all places, in all countries, people don't really like, they don't really care about that sometimes, and they just like pass you over like through, right? And it's like, no, you definitely like, you shouldn't do that. But I like that apparently it is very, like I said, they're very strict about this in order for the whole thing to work properly. So I do like that. But I think it's like good general pieces of advice that, you know, it's good if you're driving in Germany, if you ever find yourself, you know, planning a trip to Germany, or if you're driving in Germany. But I think that most of these advice, like well, maybe not the red one, the one from the red light and yield, but like most of these, like those advices, I think maybe you should definitely follow, even if you don't really live there, because I think people should definitely be better drivers. And I think if you're a better driver, the road's gonna be safer. It's gonna make the driving experience like more smooth, and it's gonna be less stressful if everyone actually would follow the rules of driving and off the road. I think, you know, people would have like an easier time just driving around, and it would be just like less stressful in general. So yes, I'm gonna keep it in mind. You know, I think I already practiced those things, but again, it's like pieces of advice to always like keep in mind. And more people, definitely, doesn't matter where you are, you should definitely follow these rules. But that was it for today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.